Hello and welcome. This is Property Hotline and I'm Kavita Krishnan. Today we are answering all your questions related to buying, selling and investing in real estate. With me today is Ashwinder Singh. Ashwinder is the CEO of Residential Services at JLL. Ashwinder, welcome to the show and let's get started with our first question for the day. It comes from Ashwath H. He says that he's planning to buy a house on Noida Expressway. Now he's looking at a 3 BHK house, which is purely for investment purpose. His budget is 1 crore rupees. He asks us if it is the right time for investment. What would you say? 1 crore rupees in Noida Expressway. How's the market faring? Should he venture into that market at this point in time?
I'm really delighted that people have started inquiring about investments in real estate. This is a good sign, first of all. And, Expressway is a good micro market to invest. Secondly, I feel that this is the best time to invest. If you look at any asset class, especially real estate, I think it's another 18 months before the tide turns and, we see some green shoots in terms of returns. And considering this point in time, a very good time to invest. Sit across, negotiate hard and get the deal. 150, there is a great opportunity which is on Expressway sector 150. There is a very good opportunity. Tata is coming up with a pre-launch. In fact, the pre-launch is already on. So it is a trusted name. They have delivery with them. At this point in time, if Ashwath gets into it, over a period of 24 to 36 months, he might see some good value for the money invested.
Right. And you said he's looking at least at an 18-month interim after which you will actually see some kind of green shoots in the market, which means that the market should turn after another 18 months, which also means that we are nearing the bottom of the market. Would you say that? Or is this only Noida Expressway or is this across the country?
See, it is tough to time the market, Kavita, but I personally feel with the steps that are being taken with RERA on the anvil today, even in Maharashtra, the government has tightened the RERA and there have been consumer-friendly reforms further on the RERA that was kind of implemented. So looks like an 18 months is a conservative estimate that I am taking because it is important to stay conservative and be careful. So I feel, the market is, if not bottomed out, near bottoming out. NCR is 20-25% already down and, relatively so is the other part of the country despite, other than some, micro markets. So I think it's a good time to kind of enter because this kind of timing might not be there otherwise.
Right. You recommended sector 150, Ashwinder. I'm looking at the chart right now. 4,677 rupees per square foot is what it's averaging. And in fact, this market has actually picked up 6% in the last 1 year. Is there any particular reason why this market is doing so well as compared to the rest of the NCR, which has been sluggish?
So that's a very good observation, Kavita. I think the key point here is that it is a low FAR and low density area. And that is what is kind of driving people to go to this part of Noida. This is, according to me, the key reason that we have seen some uptake in the prices in sector 150 and around.
Right. So sector 150 is what you should be looking at and good time to invest in the Noida Expressway market. We have Anand who's written in saying that he wants to buy a 3 BHK flat in Chembur. Now he says this is for residential purpose. He has a family of 9 and he's ready to invest 2 crore rupees. Now he wants to know what are the options available. Ashwinder, 2 crore, 3 BHK in Chembur, is it a tad on the lower side, the budget?
It is a tad on the lower side. Chembur, the current rate would be on super would be anything between 30,000 to 36,000. On carpet would be anything between 20,000 to 24,000. So I don't think he can get anything in Chembur metro station or around for less than 3.5 to 4 crores. there are certain redevelopments that are happening in and around Chembur. These are markets like Tilak Nagar, Amar Mahal, Pestam Sagar, etc. There he might get something between 2.2 to 2.5. That is a choice that he needs to take, whether he wants to go to this part of Chembur and look at redevelopment projects. But otherwise, the rates are far higher.
So essentially you're saying that he should be looking at the resale market in Chembur, and that's where he should probably get some good deals, right?
Yes, yes.
Right. Also, if you are looking at resale, and especially in a market like Chembur, which has been around for a long time, it's a very old residential market. And by the way, those are the prop worth prices of properties within the Chembur market. Do keep in mind that it is showing you a range for properties ranging between 450 square feet upwards. So you need to keep that in mind when you're looking at those. But those are the current prices at the moment. But Ashwinder, coming back to the question, when you ask him to look at resale properties, how old is an old property? As in how because Pestam Sagar, etc. I remember hearing about Pestam Sagar when I was growing up. So it's like a really, really old property. So how old can you go when you go and buy an old property?
See, Kavita, if you are redeveloping, even if the properties are 25, 30 years old, there is a complete refurbishment that is going to happen. So the redeveloper is going to take care of all those areas of concern. What is concerning is how is the neighborhood going to be? Are you going to have a redeveloped property surrounded by properties which are 30, 40 years old? And, what is the condition of that property? What kind of neighborhood you're looking at? And because of that, the reason I talk about neighborhood in terms of the properties that have not been redeveloped or which are old is that can have an impact on the return on investment in this part of the micro market. So from that perspective, that is why at times people do not prefer to get into a micro market where majority of the redevelopment is not taking place. However, if most of the properties around you are kind of getting refurbished, then I don't think there is nothing to worry other than the infrastructure which is in and around that particular place. And Chembur has a good infrastructure. It is centrally located in Mumbai. So from that perspective, it is close to the town. It becomes a hot spot.
Right. And that is something you can't dispute about Chembur. So you should be looking at the resale market with a budget of 2 crore rupees. Shailesh Shah is on the line from Mumbai. Shailesh, what's your question?
Madam, see, I've got a plot in Karja.
Okay.
And it is very near to the international airport. So I just want to check, I should hold on or I should sell my plot.
How close is it to this international airport?
It is about 30 minutes from Panvel.
30 minutes from Panvel, he has a plot. And
yes, my name has come on the TV, madam.
Right. And yes, of course, today we did see that announcement come in about the bid going to GVK to build an international airport in Navi Mumbai. What would you say, Ashwinder? Should he hold on or should he sell that particular plot?
See, Panvel, if you look at it as a micro market, if you only look at the Panvel market, it ranges from anything between 6,800 to 5,000, depending on who the developers are and what area you're talking about. And with today's GVK's announcement, which is a big announcement, I would certainly request Mr. Shailesh to wait where he has waited for such a long time. In real estate and especially in long-term investments, what happens is at times you are near the shore, but you give up. And that is where after many years you repent that wish I would not have done that. So if he's been holding it and he has the holding capacity, if he does not need the funds immediately, definitely should wait for at least 36 months. Not before that. He should not have any aspirations of selling it for the next 3 years. I certainly find that the Panvel micro market is going to do much better after some activity levels also start happening at the airport, because people want to see tangibly what is happening, and with this announcement I'm sure something or the other will happen positively.
Right. Ashwinder, also Shailesh mentioned that his plot is in Karjat, which is around 30 minutes away from the airport. Will Karjat benefit from any spillover effect of the development of the airport?
See, airport is a large infrastructure project. It is going to create huge employment. It is going to create huge employment opportunities in the field of logistics, in the field of infrastructure, in the field of construction. A lot of small residential properties around that area will also get occupied, which are not occupied. So even if this is the place where he has the plot, I'm sure, it will have a ripple effect on it. And, 30 minutes away is not a far away distance in Mumbai. So people who would be associated indirectly or directly with the airport would not mind staying in Karjat.
Right, Shailesh. So hold on to that plot. And it's interesting how he reacted immediately to that bit of news coming in. And people have really been waiting for some word on that Navi Mumbai airport. And finally, of course, news comes in that GVK will build that airport. But of course, it is still some time away, but we are looking at a 2019 deadline. Moving on to our next question. Suresh wants to know, how is South Delhi as an investment hub? If at all he wants to buy a plot or a flat over there, are there any options? He's a businessman from Ranchi. He is ready to invest up to 1 crore rupees. What can 1 crore fetch you in South Delhi? Or can it fetch you anything in South Delhi is the question.
South Delhi is like South Bombay. So, if he's aware of South Bombay, the answer is he's not going to get anything in South Delhi for 1 crore. Number two, just to answer his question on how South Delhi is an investment micro market, it is one of the best investment micro markets in the country. It is heart of the capital. It is one of the poshest places. Good infrastructure, a lot of infrastructure development that has happened in South Delhi over the last 8 to 10 years, and it is one of the markets which will be fastest to uptake once the rebound happens in terms of, if I may say, a bull run in the real estate market in the next 18 to 24 months. There are certain areas where he might get something in South Delhi for 2.5 crores, but those areas are not regulated areas like Khirki and Khirki extension. So we would never advise clients to go there and invest.
Okay, so if not South Delhi, and if he's still keen on the Delhi market as such, what area should he be looking at?
So I would advise him, that's something important that you picked up, Kavita. I would advise him to either look at Noida or Faridabad. Both of these markets have great affordability. Both have good infrastructure. Noida has even better infrastructure than Faridabad. But Faridabad is more near to South Delhi. And so is Noida in certain ways. So he should look at Noida Expressway. He should look at Faridabad, go there, do a recce. And he will find something good in 1 crore. In fact, he'll find something really worthwhile.
Right, so that's your answer there. Look at Noida, Noida Expressway and Faridabad. South Delhi is a bit out of your budget. It is a market that averages around 2 to 2.5 crore at a minimum. If it's a 1 crore budget that you're working with, these are the markets that you should be looking at. Deepanjali is planning to buy a property on Airport Road in Bengaluru, but she does not know which area to buy in. Now she says that Yelahanka is good and wants to know what are the options available there. She says it is for her end use. She is willing to invest around 90 lakh rupees. 90 lakh rupees in Yelahanka. What would you say?
Per se, Yelahanka is a very nice micro market to look at. Most of the inventory that is there is ready to move in. Within 5 kilometers of radius, you have the best schools and you have the best malls, shopping centers, hospitals, etc. So looking at that aspect, she can decide on various opportunities that are available. Within that area, you have Thasindra, you also have Hebbal, etc. So there are these 3-4 places on the airport road which she can definitely look at. There are certain good projects in Yelahanka, which is like the Ramki North, Purva Venezia and Prestige Royal Garden, by grade A quality developers. So she can, evaluate from these 3 projects and go ahead.
Right. You mentioned 4 markets, if I'm not mistaken, Hebbal, Tanisandra, Hennur Road and Yelahanka. Now, of these 4, which would be within her budget and which would be a better market to invest in? Because she says it's for end use. So, considering she works in and around that place, what would be a better market in terms of social infrastructure?
I think Yelahanka is a very good market in terms of social infrastructure, and as I said, most of the properties are ready to move in properties there.
Right, so there you go. Most of them are ready to move in properties, which means lesser risk over there for you as a home buyer. So look at Yelahanka. Narrow down some properties, come back to us, and we'll see if we could help you out narrow it down further. Niranjan wants to know the property rates on Hesaragatta main road in Bengaluru. He's planning to invest in a 3 BHK flat. Budget, he says, is not beyond 93 lakh rupees. Hesaragatta main road, what would you say?
So this is the western part of Bangalore, Kavita, and this is one area where we haven't seen many top developers kind of venturing. The rate there, to my mind, should be anything between 4,500 to 5,000 per square feet, all inclusive. So from that perspective, the budget seems fine. He can get a 1,800 odd square feet apartment, super in that price. There are certain places like certain projects like Salarpulia, Laurel, Vaishnavi Gardenia, GM Infinity, Sobha Ruby, which might not be exactly in this place but are nearby, which he can evaluate and then go ahead and take a call.
Right, and up there on your screen are the prop worth prices for projects in that particular micro market. But like you said, Ashwinder, this is not a market that one hears much about. We've probably the first question we've got on the show about Hesaragatta main road. Tell us this. He says he wants to invest over there in a 3 BHK flat. Is it a good market to invest into?
See, sometimes what happens is, Kavita, it is investment. I always say when you look at investment in real estate, it is long term. And for me, long term is not less than 10 years. Because there are huge economic cycles, and we have seen how things have been till 2007 and how they have been from 2007, 2008 to 2017, 18. And we will again see a bull run coming in somewhere in 2018 end or 2019. So, and if you also look at, all the real estate benefits that everybody has got, they've got by staying in for longer than 10 years, even if there are properties which our elders had bought in. So maybe, West might not be the best hotspot right now, but if you get a good apartment with a good developer, who knows what are the government actions that are going to happen in the next 5 years, and you get it at a low price, and then you make merry after 8-10 years.
So there you go. That's Ashwinder, the optimist speaking. But Hesaragatta, of course, those were the options that Ashwinder put forth. And you can look at that market. It's been around for some time, but like he said, you'll have to wait and watch. And you'll have to hold on to that investment for at least 10 years to see some kind of growth over there. Vishwas now writes in and says, what are the property rates on Ghodbunder Road? If he needs to buy a 3 BHK flat, what are the options available? He's ready to invest 1 crore rupees. Again, Ashwinder, budget a tad on the lower side for a 3 BHK?
Absolutely, I wish, that's why like certain people ask us, is it the right time to invest? If these, some of them would have invested 4 years back, the rates would have been far better. Today, Ghodbunder Road kind of oscillates anything between 7,000 per square feet and goes up to 14,000 per square feet, depending on the micro market within Ghodbunder Road and the developer. So for example, you have Godrej Emerald, which is trading at 7,000 or a little less than that, and you have Hira Nandani, which has an average price of 1,400. So 14,000, beg your pardon. So, it depends on the project that you're looking at and where within the micro market and which developers and what kind of development they have done, what kind of amenities they are providing. Average cost would be anything between 1.3 to 1.4 crores. For example, Lodha Splendor is at around 1.3 crores. DB Parkswood is at around 1.4 crores and Godrej Emerald again at 1.4 crores.
Right. So you should probably be looking at a 2 BHK property rather than a 3 BHK, and even then you'll have to stretch your budget a little bit because Ghodbunder, as you saw the chart that we put forth, also is averaging around 9,400 rupees per square foot. There you go, 9,651 rupees per square foot. And like Ashwinder just pointed out to you, it goes up all the way to 14,000 rupees per square foot. So those are the prices that you need to work with if you're investing in that particular micro market. And Ashwinder, in the beginning of the show, you did say good news for real estate, and it kind of continues through the show. It's always good news on Property Hotline. We have Sanjay asking if investing in a 3 BHK flat in Noida Sector 76 is a good idea. He says this will purely be for investment purpose. He's expecting good rental yields. Should he go ahead or not? More investors coming in. Ashwinder, that should make you happy?
It kind of delights me, and thanks to Magicbricks for kind of bringing such opportunities where people can discuss and they are asking about how to invest, because at times clients have also made rash decisions, and that's where you end up making certain mistakes. So my congratulations to you and the team who's providing a platform like this. It is a very good sign, and Noida has been a market which has been really shafted in the last 2-3 years, and as I have always been saying, Kavita, there has always been a pent-up demand. There have been people who have been sitting on the fence, who had to invest, who are looking for an end use, who are first-time buyers, but because of the sentiments, because of the news around, because of various other challenges, people just stood back, did not take risk, and became risk-averse. So because of these new policy changes, RERA, I would call it remonetization now, because demonetization is over, there is confidence that is coming back. Coming to the question, Sector 76 would not be the best place where he should look at investment. As I had said earlier in the show, I would focus on Expressway, and I would focus on Sector 150. There are some leading national brand developers which are coming up with pre-launches. So pre-launches are also not being seen by larger players. So we have a pre-launch being there by Tata's, and there are some other projects also. And when it is a pre-launch by a leading developer, you get a possibility of entering at the right time at a much more competitive price. And post 24-36 months, you can look at YOY investment return of around anything between 7 to 8%, which is not bad. If he's looking for a rental yield, I would still suggest him to look at on Expressway, maybe properties which are nearing, but in Sector 11, Sector 100, Sector 137, which are better placed.
Sector 11, Sector 100, Sector 137 are the markets you should be looking at if you're looking purely at rental yields. You could also look at Sector 150 on the Noida Expressway, which, like Ashwinder has been saying, is really poised for growth over there. And we did see that the market has done pretty well in the last 1 year. And Ashwinder, what's interesting is that all these investors who are sending in questions are doing so despite the fact that the tax deduction on the second home has actually been capped, and which means that people are actually investing in real estate for its strength as an asset class rather than just as another means of maximizing your tax deduction.
See, absolutely. One of the issues that real estate as a sector has faced is that everybody, as I always say, has an opinion. So they kind of, confuse people who are actually looking at it. Real estate is tangible. There is limited real estate. I also feel, Kavita, that the next boom in real estate is going to be the cities which are being designated as smart cities. If you really look around, you look at states like Rajasthan, you look at Madhya Pradesh, which is Indore, Bhopal, you look at areas around Jaipur, you look at Chandigarh, you look at Lucknow, and once the action on smart cities start happening, I also feel there's going to be a great growth on the land prices in these real estate. And real estate as an asset class will not be just restricted to the top 7-8 cities. I'm sure the real estate as an asset class in the top 25 cities in the next 4-5 years is going to be booming with smart cities coming up. And look at the infrastructure spend of 64,000 crores each, both on highways and other infrastructure. So, real estate as an asset class is going to say, I repeat, always look at real estate with a long-term perspective. And when I say long-term, look at it from a 10-year perspective. If you get something in 5 years, great. If you get something in 3 years, great. But if you have a 10 years perspective, you cannot go wrong.
Right, so there you go, investment advice coming in over there. Follow the jobs like we
And
keep
I would
saying.
also try and make a caveat.
Yes, Ashwinder.
That it is important that you do your research, it is important you do your due diligence, you don't get carried away by data which is not validated, don't get carried away by consultants who, you know, if I may use fly by night, we don't know where they're going to be. So do your due diligence, look at projects, look at developers which have a good track record. RERA will definitely take care of many of the earlier things which were there, but it is important that, you know, you're very clear what you're getting into.
Right. So, so essentially look for the jobs, look at the smart cities, and of course do your research. Very, very important tips over there from a man who knows the market. Priyal says that she wants to know the price of a 3 BHK flat in Panvel. This is for investment. Budget is 1 crore rupees. She wants to know if it is the right time to buy. Ashwinder?
You know, no guesses. Definitely a right time to buy. Just imagine the prices in Panvel are anything upwards of 5,000 today. I have seen just in 2012 when the prices were 2,500 and they went up to 5,000 just in a year, and then they have kind of been stagnant. You know, the average cost for what he wants to buy is not going to be anything less than 1.2 crores. So, you know, if he goes to the right developer, he looks at, you know, projects like Paradise Group, Sai World City, Hiranandani Fortune City, Marathon Group, Next Zone, and Kalpatru has certain projects. These are grade A developers from Mumbai. You know, he will get a lot of options and a great portfolio from where he can select.
Right. Ashwinder, very quickly, just about 30 seconds left on the show. Panvel, with the airport announcement, market is down 4%, averaging around 5,633. Where do you see the market going? Where do you see the prices going starting tomorrow?
See, I clearly see an upward trend. Starting tomorrow, I really don't know, but I definitely look at it from a 5 to 7% year-on-year, you know, growth on investments. This place is definitely going to do well. Mumbai doesn't have space, and with the airport coming in there, there are a lot of offices which are going to move there, a lot of work which is going to move there. People want to stay near offices. So the residential market today in India is 82% of the total market. So obviously, and residential market follows the job creation. Airport is going to bring job creation near that place. I see that place really coming up very well in the near term from 3 to 5 years.
Right, we know who's going to make that Navi Mumbai
You
airport.
can just look at Santa Cruz where it is.
Right. We know who's going to make the Navi Mumbai airport, and with that, prices will go up in Panvel. So if you're looking at that particular market, the time to buy, of course, is now. Ashwinder, thank you very much for coming in and answering all those questions. And with that, we come to an end of this episode of Property Hotline. But of course, if you have any questions related to real estate, do send them in to us and we'll get them answered. Thank you for watching.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Magicbricks Now. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magicbricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/Magicbricks Now.